Hello, my name is Pastor Dave. And I'm thrilled that you've given me this opportunity to share some things about the Lord. I believe that we're living in the last days before Jesus comes back. I also see the work of the devil of getting an atmosphere that has at least five different major components to it. And it's very important that we as Christians do not allow any of those components to flow through us or to take us away from the Lord. In fact, I believe it's more important than ever to be living in Romans 12, 1 and 2. Where it says, "Therefore I urge you, brothers, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing to God. This is your spiritual act of worship. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will." The five categories subjects are so many lies. Whom and what can we trust as truth? Worry and anxiety, fear, anger and arguments, and wounded spirits. Those are the topics that I hope to cover, that I'm studying now in as much detail as I can. Because the overall title of this message is, what are Christians to focus on and do in these last days? I'll say it again. What are Christians to focus on and do in these last days? One thing I have noticed is there is an almost constant outbreak of anger and disputes. Almost constantly. Now, God commented on this. There are 7 things that God hates: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that are quick to rush into evil, a false witness who pours out lies, and then the one that he truly detests the most, a man who stirs up dissension among the brothers. That's Proverbs 6, 10 through 9. Well, how does that apply to me? Well, it applies this way. An angry man stirs up dissension, and a hot-tempered one commits many sins. Proverbs 29, 22. So, if I don't want to sin, and I don't want to stir up dissension among the believers, because God hates that the most, then I better stick to Proverbs 6, 10 through 19 as in the background of my mind, and choose not to be an angry person. Now, I took some medicine recently. I was given a shot. I never knew this, but that shot literally started to change my personality. I'd always been a calm person. I'd always been a person that was encouraging, because those are my giftings, strengthening and encouraging people. So, and thinking about what will help them, what will encourage them, not having all the thoughts of myself. And of course, anger is just the opposite. Well, I was becoming an angry person. I realized in just a few days after that shot, there was anger in me that I couldn't get rid of with the usual, steps that I would take when I would feel angry in my life before. And so, this has to change. God, you can do anything. Therefore, you will change my personality back to a gentle, loving man, caring about others as you created me to be. I counter this medicine and the effects of it inside me with you, God, and your intervention and purposes. Well, I've been changing back to where I was. So we have a choice. I mean, first thought would cover, what do you mean a choice? Did you say what he did to me? No, I have a choice. As I've talked about before, I have a choice to love that person, which I'm supposed to do, according to the Word of God. I have a choice to be a gentle, loving person. In Proverbs 29:22, it says, a gentle answer turns away wrath. We can choose when we get up in the morning, Lord, help me to be a gentle, encouraging, loving man today or woman. I need your help in this, and I want it. And I want to know when to stop and get further help. That I don't buy into this anger that's floating around in the atmosphere today, causing all kinds of havoc. And we can start our day that way, and we continue our day that way. Getting rid of all hate should be a continuous process. Hatred stirs up dissension, but love covers all wrongs. You don't want to put the energy into, dealing with anger in this way. Remind yourself, do I want all my wrongs covered? Yeah, I think I do. Okay, then I'm going to focus on this in these last days. It's continuous throughout the day, throughout our life, throughout the next day, throughout the week, throughout the month. It's on and on, as long as we're down here. Starting a quarrel is like breaching a dam. So drop the matter before a dispute breaks out. Proverbs 17:14. If we make a mistake, saying the wrong thing, I often do that. I have problems hearing scrambling letters, which then scrambles words and sentences. And I'll say something to her, Sina, that has nothing to do with what she's talking to me about. Well, she says that, and if I respond right away in a gentle way, thank you for telling me, it ends. But if I do anything else, it'll continue. I get so angry when you do that. You see, I'm fueling the anger by not responding the way I should as soon as something happens. Because I know it can lead to anger. It can lead to an argument. It can lead to poor sleep that night. It can lead to all kinds of things. It can lead to effects on our body, as I've mentioned in other times. It can affect the way we walk, the ability to walk, the amount of energy we have, all of that. It will sap all of that. So we need to get rid of all hate and anger. And we need not to start a quarrel. We need to avoid quarrels. Now, you may be accused, you probably will be accused of you never want to solve a problem. You just walk away. I'm not walking away, I'm listening, but I'm not going to throw gasoline on the fire. So that's another way that I remind myself, don't throw gas on this fire. Just be calm, gentle, loving, and quiet. Because I don't want a dispute broken out between me and my wife, between me and other Christians, between me and anyone. But I know God doesn't want it either, and He hates it. And so, this is something I think is very important to focus on. I will not be angry, and I will not hate, and I will not judge, and I will not do a whole bunch of those things that you know and I know God has told us not to do. And we can actually become that way. One of the things that caused me to immediately ask God to help me to change my personality when it started to change from that medicine was, number one, I knew how He'd created me, but number two, I knew that my dad had Parkinson's. And people with Parkinson's have dementia. And people that have dementia they'll go one of two ways. They'll go the kind, loving, oh man, let's serve Dave because he was so wonderful and everything. Or he can go the angry, come here, oh man, let's avoid, let's tip around. I don't want to serve Dave today. Let somebody else do it. You know. And I said, you know what? I choose. And that's why I chose, and I told you, you can too. Because I know the last number of weeks have been so much better. And I know they're going to keep getting better. Because I'm not going to lose focus on it. I'm going to keep it in focus and keep it in my mind. I will not be an angry man. And that's my prayer for all of you, that you not become an angry man or woman, that you recognize right away when this is happening and you deal with it. You deal with it in God's way. I know counselors tell you, if you're getting angry, call for a timeout. Well, you can do that without saying, I'm getting angry. You can find a timeout, a way that you do not throw gas on the fire, as I said. So these are my prayers for you, and I know God will be answering them. I know you're serious about the Lord, and you will deal with anger even in a more effective way than you have up to now. So I thank you for the privilege of being able to share with you. God bless you.